My grandmother was a reference librarian at our local public library, and I spent, I would say, the majority of my childhood in the library. And I made my way through the children's section very early on and moved on to, novels and such. And then I realized at some point, high school, that I really loved theater. And the theater section was quite small, so I was working my way through, and Angels in America was there. It sort of, I think, spoke to a very real and maybe unexplored part of myself. And I think it's a play that I've always sort of gone back to. Sort of the themes and the issues explored and the characters and the language and the spectacle of the piece, I think, are all things that that really move me. And also, I think, in my own writing, they really motivate. It's sort of like, this is what a story can do. This is how a story can be told in a highly theatrical way that can then sort of make you feel something, can also teach you something, can sort of push you towards a personal revelation.
It's a beautiful play. I think it's hopeful in a way that a lot of writing isn't hopeful now.
It's a coming-of-age story for 2010. I think it speaks to what it means to be a teenager now, but also sort of what it meant to be a teenager back in the day and decades before. I think that period is such an awkward period of your life where you're trying to find yourself, and I think when you're from a small town, it's really hard to do that, especially when you feel like an outsider, especially when it comes to issues of sexuality. And I think that this generation sort of has moved forward in an amazing way of acceptance and all of that, but there are definitely things that aren't spoken about, especially in families. And I think that this sort of cracks that open.
I think there's some innocence and hope within youth as a whole, and that part of the idea of the human experience is to retain that as you get older and as life chips away at you more.
The piece is about revelation, about coming to a point in your life where you understand something about yourself and you are willing to claim it and then go out and live it. I think it's also about parents and children and their changing relationship as the kid grows up and is moving towards leaving the nest. I also think it's about love. It's about sort of finding love and what love can do to sort of make it okay to claim maybe that part of yourself that is unconventional.
So it's an opportunity for people to join us on the ground floor.
Before we even start rehearsals.
Before we even start rehearsals, before we even have a cast, and see what happens at the Fringe and hopefully afterwards as well.
You're getting, an opportunity to come to a dress rehearsal of a show, getting an opportunity to sort of sit down with the artists and, have dinner and talk about what their inspiration was behind this. And I think it's a more active way of sort of supporting a cause. We want you to feel empowered coming to theater, knowing how, XYZ came to life on stage. And I think having that knowledge coming into a piece of art opens that piece of art up to you, but also allows you to talk about it to your friends in an amazing way where you feel educated about it and you feel included in the process, and in turn get them included in the process and get people behind theater. I mean, and that's what we're most excited about, other than of course getting our project up off the ground, is sort of creating this dialogue to help further the art form.
I'm really excited that we get a chance to develop it this summer and then to make it fly.